The Megaman Robot Masters are one of my favorite groups of bosses from any video game franchise. I think some of them can be quite awesome and others can be... Get out of my TV screen, please. You're starting to scare me. But there are just those few that don't stand out in any particular way. They could be deemed as forgettable. And those ones will be the subject for this video. Hello, my name is Thunderex, and I'll be counting down the top 5 most forgettable Megaman Robot Masters. There's not much else to say here, so how about we get started? Number 5. Oh, Dustman, how underrated I think you are, and for good reason. Megaman 4 is the first Mega Man game I've ever played, and I think it has a solid cast of Robot Masters. Yes, even Toadman. But Dustman doesn't really stand out in any way to make him remarkable. How about we take a look at his design? I can tell Dustman was based off of a vacuum, but not much really screams dust or trash about him. An old friend of mine actually looked at his design and thought it was based off of a microwave. A microwave? Dustman was built for sanitation purposes, not making Hot Pockets! Next, we should talk about his stage. Dustman's stage is actually not too forgettable. It's a pretty fun stage, and one of the memorable things about it is that cheap enemy placement at the beginning, like Capcom. Why does that exist? Just joking. The real part of the level that's actually memorable is the gimmick. It teaches the player about patience. And then there's the fight. All Dustman really does in the fight is try to suck you in and shoot his Dust Crusher at you. You can possibly execute multiple patterns with him, but not really much else to say. Then there's the weapon, the Dust Crusher. The Dust Crusher is very similar to the Mega Buster, but it's just more situational. But there are some redeeming qualities that don't make him as forgettable as everyone else on this list. Such as I already said before, having a fun stage. Also, I like the music used in his stage. It kind of fits Dustman's theme, which is somber. And the weakness of Skullman's brilliant, having fossils getting dusted instead of dusted off. But Thunderex, why is he on this list then? If he has so many redeeming qualities! Well, young viewer, I will tell you why. I think Dustman is overshadowed by every other Megaman 4 Robot Master. He's just kind of part of the crowd in this game. But I think Dustman is the most underrated Robot Master in the series, in my opinion. Wait, I feel like I'm forgetting something here. Oh yeah, the designer of Dustman, Yusuke Maruta, went on later to make One Punch Man. What is this? I think I just found a new tier of respect for Dustman than I already had before. Number 4. I think the original Mega Man didn't age too well. There are many things that future installments fix, such as not dying when you make contact with spikes in any way, or having those flow-breaking 2-second pauses when you pick up an energy capsule. I don't think Bombman aged too well either. I think Bombman's design is somewhat based off of a punk, but I'm not too sure. His design is too vague for me to think that he's somewhat related to bombs. Then there's the stage. It feels more like an obstacle course of random enemies than a bomb-related facility. It's just kind of there. Then there's the fight. Bombman goes down faster than Yamcha. For the majority of the fight, he just runs away from you, and again, there's not much to talk about here. The fight is not bad, it's actually kind of fun, but it just goes by too fast. Then there's the weapon. Why would you ever use this at all? Most of the targets you try to hit with the Hyper Bomb can easily just evade it. You know it's a bad thing when you'd rather buster a boss than use its weakness against it. The weapon is pretty forgettable if there are no uses for it in the whole entire game. Why Bombman is at number 4 is because of Mega Man Powered Up, where he got a personality and he got a stage a huge facelift, which is a good thing. Even though these changes did happen, I think Bombman is still a dud. Looks like I'm debombed! No one could have said that better than you, Bombman. Number 3. look, another Robot Master loosely based off an object. Heatman all around is just dull. His design is not bad, he is based off of a lighter, but it doesn't really stand out in any places. Heatman's level is blander than Saltines. There is not enough set pieces to really give this stage a personality. Sure, there is the infamous Yoku block section which made gamers all around the world rage. But once you figured that out, it's just as easy and tedious as the rest of the stage. Then there's the fight. All it pretty much is Heatman going back and forth. It isn't hard at all, there's no challenge to it. And the weapon you get doesn't help. The Atomic Fire is probably one of the worst weapons in the Mega Man series. I have found no uses for it at all in the whole entire game, maybe except for Woodman. There's probably something wrong when Magikarp Splash, yes, Magikarp Splash, can do more damage than Heatman's Atomic Fire. It is kinda hard to go wrong with fire-based characters in media, such as anime and video games. But Heatman found a way to do so. Also, the only fire enemy in the game can only be found in Quickman's stage and not Heatman's? This game is overrated. Oh wait, I think I have found a use for Atomic Fire. Flame Shield. Number 2. Next coming on the list from one of the more boring or forgettable games of the series is a pile of bricks, also known as Stone Man. Stone Man is a pretty dull dude. Stone Man's design looks like a fusion between Guts Man and a castle, which isn't bad even though he has many similarities to Guts Man. Stone Man's level feels way longer than it should be. What doesn't help is how dull the level is. Usually in the Mega Man level there's some type of gimmick that is exclusive to that level, but Capcom went the lazy route and just slapped on a long screen and thrown some enemies in there. By the time I finished Stone Man's level, I could have watched the whole Dragon Ball series. Then there's the fight. Wait, what fight? All that Stone Man does is jump around and shoot his Power Stone, which never hits you. And he just crumbles into a pile of bricks for no reason. Then there's the weapon, which is definitely not good. The Power Stone shoots 3 stones, which does not sound bad for combat, but it goes counterclockwise, pretty much missing everything it tries to target. Also, let's talk about Stone Man's appearance in the Ruby Spears cartoon. You know what I'm talking about, Super Fighting Robot Megaman. Okay, so in this episode there's a fight scene between Megaman, who is fighting Cutman, Gutsman, Drillman, Proto Man, also known as Scott McNeil, and you guessed it, Stone Man. Well, there's this one scene in the fight where Mega Man kicks Stone Man in the gut. And you're probably thinking, why is this scene important at all? Well, this is the last time we ever see him in the show. He only appeared in this one episode, and this is the only time we ever see him. Literally, he just shows up, Mega Man kicks him once, he makes the same cry of pain, which is his only line of dialogue. Then Wily and the gang just abandoned him. He doesn't appear for the rest of the episode. It just abandoned him, never to be seen again. For some reason, it always bothered me. I counted 22 seconds. That is how much screen time he had in the show. 22 seconds! Talk about forgettable. Just let that sink in for a moment. Even though I don't think Stone Man gets as much hate as he deserves, he's just kind of there, you know what I mean? And now, before we reach number 1, we'll have a recap of our previous entries if you forgot, which you probably did. Number 5, the garbage lover himself, One Dust Man. Number 4, Kaboom! Number 3, Heatman, I'm still gonna need your flame shield. Number 2, My Life in 22 Seconds. And number 1 is... Number 1. Now, for someone as forgettable as Windman, I have a lot to say about him. Like usual, let's start off with his design. I don't really have much to say about his design. He was one of the 2 Robot Masters that won Make a Robot Master contest in the USA. But can someone please fix Windman's chest? It looks like he downed 5 Big Macs in one go. His stage is not too memorable. It's just another sky stage in Mega Man 6 where the British castle a Brazilian rainforest, and the ancient ruins of Greece. And for China, it's just another sky stage. This is China we're talking about, one of the biggest countries in the world. Couldn't you build it off a famous landmark like the Great Wall of China? Or the Yellow Crane Tower, or maybe in the setting of a Chinese kung fu movie? The only things that are remotely Chinese in this level are the pandas and the writing on one of the tile sets. Then there's the fight. Windman tries to suck you in, he shoots whatever the heck at you, and tries to land on top of you. I just wish he had one more attack, this would have made the fight more interesting. Then there's the weapon, which is the Windstorm. It's just a ripoff of the Bubble Lead. Like, look at this comparison. Megaman's sprite is gray in both of them, he shoots a weapon that travels across the floor. The only difference is that the Windstorm propels the enemies upward, and the enemies don't drop anything, which is not good. I think Windman is the great value version of Airman. They both are similar, but there's one key difference. One can be defeated, and one can't. From what we've seen of Mega Man 11 so far, it doesn't look too bad. None of the Robot Masters seem forgettable in this. They all seem interesting in their own way. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you agreed with me, why not leave a like? If you disagreed, dislike. I hope you're able to put up with my voice. Man, it's kind of boring. Well, this is Thunderex the First signing out. Have a good day.